Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so I will let Batu to start the session.
ကဲအားလုံးပဲမင်္ဂလာပါတနင်္လာနေ့မနက်ခင်းเนาะပြင်ပပန်းနဲ့လာတက်ပြီးတဲ့ကျေးဇူးတင်ပါတယ်ညနေတစ် section ပဲကျန်တော့ပေါ့နော်ဟုတ်ဒီနေ့မနက်ခင်းချိန်ရတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့CHDN ပေါ့နော်ကျွန်တော်တို့ High Science Education Academy Team ရဲ့ leader လေးဖြစ်တယ်ပြီးတဲ့ခါကျလို့ရှိရင်ကျွန်တော်ရဲ့ supervisor လေးဖြစ်တယ်ပေါ့နော်ဒီခါကျတော့ပြီးတော့ CHDN ကတော့အင်္ဂလိပ်စာနဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတွေ့ကြုံဆယ်နှစ်ကျော်ရထားတယ်ပြီးတော့ဘာသာစကားသင်ကြားမှုပါလေဒီထဲကကျွန်းကျင်တယ်လို့မြင်9နှစ်ကျော်ရှိပြီပေါ့နော်ခါကြတော့များသောအားဖြင့်တော့အဓိကအပြင်အင်္ဂလိပ်စာ skill ကိုဒီ section မှာသူကဦးစားပေးပြီးပြောရပါမယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ negotiation နဲ့ပတ်သက်တဲ့ tactic ကိုပဲပြောပါဆိုတဲ့ကြောင့်မို့လို့ခန်းထဲမှာနေပြီးတော့ဘာဖြစ်မေးရရှိတဲ့ခါကြလို့ရှိရင်အကေအင်္ဂလိပ်လိုမရဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ chat box တွေရိုက်ပြီးလို့ရတယ်အကေနားမလည်ရရှိဘာသာပြန်ခိုင်းနေဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ကျွန်တော်ဘာသာပြန်ပြီးလို့ရတယ်ပေါ့နော်ဟုတ်အားလုံးပဲအဆိုဒီချိန်နဲ့ section ဆက်လိုက်အောင်နော် okay Shadian you can start now okay if there is anyone who doesn't understand, I will probably help them to translate into comments.
No problem. Thank you. Okay, so again, good morning, everyone. As Batu have mentioned earlier, my name is Teacher Dian. I'm from Indonesia. I'm the teacher and also academic team leader of Highton Education. I have been teaching in Myanmar for the past 3 years, more than 3 years. And I teach 4 skills English, IELTS preparation, and also business English. Okay. I'm very happy to see everyone today, and I'm very grateful that you that you have made the time to wake up in the morning and come to the class. And I hope you will learn something from the session today. Okay. So as you already know, the name of our session today is Business English, How to Negotiate in English. Yeah. So the key activities that you will do today is you will observe and comment on some negotiation processes. You will learn useful phrases for negotiating in English, and you will do language practice. So these are all our 3 main activities for this morning. Yeah. To start with, I would like to know you. I would like to get to know you. Okay, so write in the comment box your name, your location. So where in Myanmar are you right now? And the reason for being here today. Okay, you can just write in the comment box. Oh, hello, Kai. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. I'm gonna just look at your names. Remember, location is also very important. I would like to know where you are from and why are you here today? Okay. Wow. So there are students who come from Mandalay, from Galah, from Aan. Okay. Okay. So what I see here, many of you are here to improve English skill and also to learn English, especially business English. One of you mentioned that you would like to be an English teacher. That's very good. Okay. From the way, yeah. Okay. And many of you are here also to be productive, and that's very good. during this time, you have a lot of time to be productive. So that is also a good reason to be here. Okay. Okay. I think I have from everyone. That's very good. Okay. 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 So thank you very much, everyone. Listening skill. Okay. Lewin Min U. Okay. Yeah. You will get listening skill. A lot of you will, well, everyone here will get listening skill for sure because you will be watching videos and that will help you practice with your listening skill. Okay. So, thank you very much for sharing who you are, where you're from, and the reason for being here. I'm very happy to see that people from all over Myanmar are here right now, and it's good to know that you are able to come and join the class. And a lot of you are here to learn English, to know something about negotiating in English, to improve your listening skill, to become an English teacher. You want to see how you want to know how to teach English. So there are many reasons, and also to be productive. Okay, so those are really good reasons to be here. And if you have any questions about either the topic that we're talking here today about negotiation or about teaching English itself, you're welcome to ask me in the chat box, or you can pass it on to Batu so that he can help translate if we're not yet confident in speaking English. I have been a teacher for more than 10 years. So I started very long time ago. So you can guess how old I am just by knowing that I've been a teacher for more than 10 years. So I have been a teacher in high school. I've been a teacher in language courses. I've been an English teacher for NGOs as well. So I have a lot of experience in teaching English. If you would like to know more about that, you can ask as well. Okay, so let's continue. Uh, so I have three key questions that I will ask again at the end of the session. Okay, so you do not have to answer now. You will answer at the end of the session. So remember this, or you can take a note of the questions. Okay, the first question is, what is negotiation? That's the first question. Don't answer now, answer later. Okay? The second one is, what qualities make a good negotiator? That's the second question. Okay? And the third question is every negotiation a win-lose one? Don't answer them now, answer them later after we finish the session. Okay? Okay. I hope you have either taken a screenshot or you have written on your notebook. I will now continue. Today's session will be divided into four. Okay, the first one, we're going to talk about the basics of negotiation. The second one, we are going to talk about how to prepare for negotiation and the process of negotiation, and finally, reaching an agreement. So there are four types of modules that I will be presenting today. Okay, and throughout all those four modules, you will do language practice, you will watch some videos, and you will also comment on those videos. Okay, so let's start with the first module, and that is the basics. Okay, so I have a quote here. So much of life is a negotiation. So even if you're not in business, you have opportunities to practice all around you. Okay? So you may be a student of business, you may be an employee, or you may just be someone who just finished matriculation. It doesn't mean that you have to be someone who from the professional world in order to negotiate. Okay? You negotiate in your daily life, from asking more pocket money to your parents, maybe, or asking your friend to change the time and place for catching up on Zoom, for example. So there are many ways that you can negotiate, even when you go to the market to buy vegetables. You're negotiating, so you don't have to be in business in order to negotiate. So, what is negotiation to start with? Negotiation is basically a discussion or dialogue. It's not an argument, okay? It's not a fight. Negotiation is a discussion, it's a dialogue. So, there's communication, okay? And it's to reach a mutual agreement that is good for both sides. Mutual, which means both sides needs to be satisfied with the result, not just one person, okay? Negotiation can also happen to settle a dispute. A dispute is an argument. Okay, dispute is an argument. So when two people have argument, then they may have to negotiate. Okay, to settle the argument. Yeah, so that's some of the basics of negotiation. Another name for negotiation is bargaining. Okay, you may be familiar with this. You go to a shop, I want 1 lakh. No, I want 1 lakh. And then after that, you go down, and then you go down, and you keep going down. Oh, I want, oh, the vegetables. The price is 5,000. No, I want it to be 3,000. No, it has to be 4,000. And then keep going like that. Okay. So that's called bargaining. So bargaining is also negotiation, but it's to discuss and agree the price of something. So it's more specifically to discuss and agree the price of something. Okay. When you bargain persistently, it's called haggling, like the example I mentioned earlier. The vegetable seller tells you the price of the vegetable is 5,000. You don't want 5,000. You say it has to be 3,000. The vegetable seller then say no, and it's okay, I'll give you 4,500. No, 3,500, and keep going like that, and then, okay, back and forth. That's called haggling. Okay. So people who are involved in negotiation are called negotiators. Okay. And someone who is a tough negotiator plays hardball. Plays hardball means that he or she will fight for, or he or she will fight to get what he needs or what she wants. Okay, so plays hardball doesn't mean being aggressive. That means he or she will not just take the first offer. Okay, he or she will try. Okay, will try to negotiate until both sides are satisfied. And also another way of saying it is drives a hard bargain. So a tough negotiator is someone who's willing to play hardball and drives a hard bargain. Okay. Now, when negotiation reach an agreement, the agreement should be a consensus. A consensus means general agreement, which means everyone is satisfied. Okay, so you reach a consensus, everyone is satisfied. But if it's a settlement, it's the dispute. Remember, argument, yeah. So when a negotiation is about an argument, then you reach a settlement. There's a specific word for the result of a dispute, a negotiation for a dispute, and that is a settlement. So if two people are negotiating because there's a conflict or an argument between them about their business, the agreement is called the settlement. If a negotiation cannot reach an agreement, then the negotiation has ended in a deadlock. That's what the word is, a deadlock. Okay? So a deadlock is when a negotiation does not end with an agreement. You may need to negotiate even more. Are you okay so far? Okay. So these are just some of the basic words related to negotiation. From the word settlement, consensus, deadlock, play hardball, drives a hard bargain, negotiators, bargaining, and haggling. Those are some of the basic words. Now, let's look at a more like a word combination, okay? There is something called intense or intensive negotiation. Those are the kind of negotiation that are very difficult and tiring, with a lot being discussed. There's also called delicate or tense negotiation, which are negotiations that are very difficult and could easily fail. There's an 11th hour or last minute negotiation, which are negotiations that take place at the last possible moment, so last minute, okay? The last one is protracted negotiations, which means a negotiation that takes a very long time. Let's see an example. Hostage negotiation. Can you guys write in the chat box what word combination is suitable for hostage negotiation? It can be more than one. It's not just one, okay? So what kind of negotiation or word combination is suitable to describe a hostage negotiation? If you don't know what hostage is when someone is kidnapped, and like when someone kidnapped someone else and the police try to rescue the person being kidnapped. So there has to be a negotiation so that the kidnapper release the person they kidnapped. Okay, yes, good, Sanyu. Delicate negotiation can be to describe hostage negotiation. It's very difficult, could easily fail. Any other word combination maybe? You can try it in the chat box. Yeah, intense negotiation. They're very difficult and tiring, and there's a lot of demands that the hostage might want. Okay. Intense negotiation, good. Someone said crisis negotiation. That can be a good pair as well. It's not in the list, but that's good. Intensive negotiation, yeah. Okay, and also tense negotiation can be one of them. How about this one? A merger. A merger is when when two or more companies join together. This can be a this can be a delicate negotiation, yeah, because if the companies cannot find a middle ground, then it is possible that the negotiation could fall and the merger will not happen. Okay, yeah, delicate negotiation for a merger. Can be protracted, yeah, if it's like a very long time, but for like a protracted negotiation for a merger will definitely drain a lot of energy from the negotiators, and also like not only physically, mentally, but also financially. So protracted can be a word that be used to describe a merger when it takes so long to get done. Okay, so now another word combination will be with bargaining. Okay, so there's bargaining ploy or bargaining tactic. You may also sometimes hear it as negotiation tactic. It's a particular technique used by a negotiator. Okay. One of the bargaining tactic that you may be familiar with is that when you buy something, when the other person gives you the price, you go down half, and then the negotiation starts from there. That's the tactic. Okay. Another one is bargaining chip or bargaining tool, which is an issue that a negotiator uses in order to gain an advantage. Okay, so maybe when there are two companies who are merging, one company knows the weakness of the other company, and that weakness becomes the bargaining tool of the other company. Okay, there's also bargaining point and bargaining power. Okay, bargaining point is the particular issue that a negotiator discusses, while bargaining power is the degree to which one side is strong enough to obtain what it wants. So in negotiation, there's going to be a power play. One person may have a stronger bargaining power than the other, but it doesn't always stay like that. The power dynamic may change. If I come to a negotiator with a bargaining tool that will make me have a higher bargaining power, it may change in the middle of the meeting if the other person also has a bargaining tool that will be used against me. So the bargaining power dynamic can shift from time to time. There's also bargaining process, which is the way the negotiation develop. Okay. So with a merger, you can type in the chat box again, what is the word combination that can be used when there is a merger negotiation? Okay, bargaining chip, bargaining point, and bargaining power. Yeah. For the word chip and for the word tool, the more common word combination is bargaining tool. Okay. Bargaining chip is accepted, but if you hear at least based on what I know, bargaining tool are normally the word combination. And remember, it's not chip tool, it's bargaining chip and bargaining tool, two words, okay? Bargaining point, bargaining power, bargaining process, bargaining ploy, bargaining tactic. The same with bargaining ploy and tactic as well. You will hear more of bargaining tactic or negotiation tactic than negotiation ploy or negotiation or bargaining ploy. So the more common word between ploy and tactic will be tactic, for chip and tool will be tool. Okay. Okay, now it's time that I ask you to do a language practice. Okay, are you ready? So in this language practice, I have 6 words from the previous slide. There's tactic, deadlock, delicate, haggling, tough, and power. Okay, and these are the words. Try to complete the sentences using the word from the box. Okay, I'm going to give you some time to look at it and to do it. And then after you're finished, I will say a number and everyone can write in the chat box so I can check their answer. Okay, so I'll give you 5 minutes. Go ahead. Okay, so I would like to also talk to the people who are watching from the Facebook Live. You are also welcome to do the practice, and later you can write your answers in the comment box. I would like to know. Time is almost up. You can start writing the answer. I will ask you to write the answer for number 5. You can write in the comment box so I can see what you wrote for number 5. Okay. I'm seeing some answers coming in. I see 2 kinds of answers. Some of you answered haggling. I only asked for number 5, yeah? So you can just give me number 5. So you don't have to write all the answers. Okay, question screen. This one. Okay. So, okay, Miatli, you can see I hope you can see the question screen now, yeah? Okay, number 5. I see delicate and tough. Okay, the correct answer for number 5 is haggling. Okay, we were haggling. So you're, yay. For some of you are correct. Yay, we got it. Okay, congratulations, you got it correct. For number 5, the answer is haggling. How about if we go to number, again, I only asked for one number. Try to, so listen to my instruction, yeah? One number. So just write one number. I want to know number 1. Give me number 1. Oh, seems like this one. Wow, okay. I see different answers. There's power, there's tactic, there's delicate. Okay. For number 1, the answer is power. I like your reaction. It's so good. So you got it right. If you got it right, you can go like that. If you got it wrong, you can go like, oh. Okay, and try again. Okay, so Dennis has more bargaining power than James because his company dominates the market. So one is stronger than the other. That is power. Okay, let's try number 3. Okay, let's see. Oh, we have a smiley face next to the that loud tender. That's funny. Okay, let's see. This time I see one answer very consistently, and it's deadlock. You're correct. Okay, so if you answer deadlock, that is correct. So the negotiation had already ended in a deadlock within 10 minutes of starting. Remember, deadlock means there's no consensus. Okay, so they couldn't finish it. They couldn't give a good negotiation or a good deal. Number 6.
Tough.
Yeah, someone is speaking. Well, thank you very much. And it's correct. Tough, definitely. And I see everyone is also doing the same thing. He's a tough negotiator. And look at the supporting sentence the phrase that comes after that. Likes bargaining about everything. Okay. Um, Number 4. This should be easy now. Okay. Yeah, this time it's gonna be easy. Maybe some of you are confused between 4 and 6. Okay. But now you know that number 4 is delicate, and the pronunciation of the word, just for you to know, it's delicate. Okay, delicate negotiation. Yeah. So I don't think I need to go to number 2 again because we already covered everything. But you can see it here. Oh, okay. So these are the answers. Bargaining power, remember, that means it's the person who is the dynamic between the negotiators. One may have a stronger bargaining point or negotiation point, and therefore the person has a higher bargaining power. And it's the tactic, deadlock, delicate, haggling, and also tough. Okay, so now we've covered the basics and some of the words. Now you're gonna move on to the second module, okay? And it's gonna be preparing, okay? So this is the quote I chose specifically for this module. The first thing to decide before you walk into any negotiation is what to do if the other fellow says no, okay? Negotiation can only happen when there are two-way communication. I make an offer, the other person responds, and maybe give another offer to me and I respond. So the negotiation can only continue if each of the negotiators are responding to each other. If they're not responding to each other, then the negotiation comes into a deadlock or it ends. So of course, as negotiators, the first thing you have to do before the negotiation actually start is to decide what to do if the other fellow says no. How will you respond? If you don't know how to respond, then the negotiation ends. Okay, and that's why preparation is key in everything that you do in life. Basically, preparation is key. You've been going through a lot of the courses throughout these days, right? And preparation is definitely key. Whether you want to be better at work, better at school, you need to prepare, right? So same with negotiation as well. So you need to do your research. For example, you want to negotiate a higher salary with your employer. You cannot just go into the meeting and say, I want a higher raise. That doesn't work that way. Okay. You first need to know how much is the salary in your market. Will you be asking too high or are you asking too low? Will your boss give you a salary that is good based on the market, or is it going to be too low? So you need to do your research. The same as if you meet a client for business negotiation. You have to do your research about your client first. You need to know who your client is. What do they do? Okay? And also, you need to know what is your initial bargaining position. So where do you start? So if it's negotiation for salary, you need to first think about what is your bargaining position? Where do you want to start? What is the number that you want to start with? Okay. The same with when you are meeting a business client, you need to first know where do you stand. What is your, in this case, what position are you? What do you want to offer? And you try, based on your research, you can then predict or estimate the needs and objectives of the other side. Okay, so when you go for a salary negotiation, for example, you know what your position is in your negotiation. You know what your good points are. You know your value for your company, and that means you can estimate or predict what your boss will need from you or what your boss will agree to your position. Remember to prepare a fallback position. A fallback position means if the negotiation will not give you what you want in the first place, you will compromise up to a certain point. That is a fallback position, your compromise level. So you may come with a number for your salary, but then your boss offers you something that is different from the initial bargaining position. You must have a fallback position, which means the number that you will compromise with, the number that you will accept. Okay, the same with clients as well. Where will you draw the line? Decide the venue. If you are the person who decides the venue, then you need to decide where to meet with the other person. Will you meet at the office? Will you meet in a restaurant, like a neutral place? Will it be like a Zoom meeting these days? Okay, so is it gonna be using Zoom or Skype or something else? Okay, so you decide the venue. So if you're negotiating as part of a team, remember that you have to consult your colleagues and allocate roles and responsibility, which means you cannot just go to a negotiation not knowing what your team has done before. Because when you're working in a team, you may not be the first person who negotiates with the other person. Okay? Your other team members may already establish a relationship with this person. So you cannot just come to the negotiation not having communication with your team member first. Okay? So that's the preparation part. These are the six preparing points that you need to remember. And these are some of the important keywords: initial bargaining decision, estimate the needs and objectives, fallback position, consult, and allocate. And this is the scenario. Normally, a negotiation happens like this. So you will meet and greet a representative. Okay, so you will meet and greet representatives on the other company, introduce your colleague if you are with a colleague, and then offer coffee and small talk, okay, to create a relaxed atmosphere. And then go to the meeting room and suggest that you get down to business, which means start negotiation, okay? And then you have a clear agenda, and then give the background to the negotiation, talking about the position or talking about the key facts and issue, okay? And then kick off the negotiation themselves. Maybe you want to find out about the priority of the other side or talking about your own requirements. These 6 stages, remember the symbol because you will be seeing it a lot in the next slides. So the shaking hand is the greeting. The coffee and the pot is small talk. Okay. The start button is when you suggest to get down to business, and there's the agenda, and then there's the background, and then there's the kickoff. Okay. Now I'm going to show you language practice. Okay. So Jose, head of Zania, a Brazilian aircraft manufacturer. He is meeting with Mr. Watanabe from Zebra, an engine supplier. You have to arrange these phrases John uses at the beginning of the negotiation in the correct order. So it has to be in the correct order. Okay? So there's 1 until 6. All you have to do is order the numbers from the beginning to the end. Okay? I'll give you another 5 minutes for this. Okay, whenever you're ready, you can put the answer in the comment box. And of course, the viewers who are watching from Facebook Live can also give their answer in the comment box to see whether you're correct or not. Okay, we have some different answers here. Everyone knows it starts with 3. That's good. There's 4 and 6. Okay. Remember, I told you in the previous slide, you need to start with small talk before you lead to the meeting room. Okay, so with that said, which one do you think should go first, 6 or 4? So if you haven't sent your answer, you should review your answer again. Okay. Yeah. So when you finish with the greeting, of course, you need to start with, you need to continue with, would you like some coffee or tea? That's part of the small talk, right? How was the flight? That's also part of small talk. If your client happened to travel to the meeting using a car, then you can say, oh, how was your trip? Okay. So there has to be some kind of small talk that happens before the negotiation starts. Okay. Let's see, 1, 2, 5. Okay. 5, 2. Yeah, okay. 5 and 2 are also possibly confusing for you. Remember, there's the agenda setting. Agenda setting means what will the negotiation be today? What will the meeting agenda be today? Okay, so that's part of the agenda. While for the kickoff is when you finally start with the negotiation. You start start with your negotiation points. Okay. So here, I will show you one by one. First is correct. Good to see you again. How are you? Let me introduce my colleagues. These are all the phrases that you can definitely use when you greet someone in business. If you have met with the person before, then you can say, oh, good to see you again, or nice to see you again. Okay, so that established the relationship between you and the person. Let me introduce my colleague if you're with someone. Okay. Another one is, would you like a polite way? Yeah. Would you like some coffee or tea? Would you like something to drink? Would you prefer juice if the person doesn't like coffee or tea? How was the flight? How was the flight? How was your trip? If the person is staying in a hotel, how is your accommodation? Shall we go? It's an invitation. Shall we go? Okay, shall we go and make a start? That's the invitation towards the meeting. Now this is the agenda setting. Okay, because Mr. Watanabe is flying back on Friday evening, that gives them 3 days. So that has to be mentioned. And then Jose thinks 2 days should be enough to cover all the points. That's the agenda setting. It will be 2 days to cover all the points. Remember from the first slide, yeah, negotiation point. So I think 2 days should be enough to cover all the points. And on the third day, I'll ask our lawyers to finalize conditions for the contract with you if we have an agreement. So this is a condition. If the condition is fulfilled, the consequence is that they will finalize the condition, or the result means they will sign the contract. So this is the agenda setting. As you all probably know, so referring to a previous knowledge, Mr. Watanabe and I met at the Aerospace Trade Fair in Frankfurt last year, and we had a very interesting discussion about the possibility of our two companies working together. So Jose here makes a reference about previous meeting. Okay, so this is giving everyone in the meeting or all the meeting attendees the background. We've looked at the potential market for our new plane, and it looks as if we will need 100 engines over the next 3 years. So this is where the negotiation kick off, because Jose now puts forward his offer or puts forward his need on the table. Okay, so in that case, the negotiation can kickstart. Yeah, so you can refer to your notes here and see what the order of the number. And so if you go back here, that means the first one is supposed to be number, which one? Number 3, correct? Yeah, you can put your hands on the camera so I can see it. The second correct answer should be which number? You can show your finger. Which one? Which number? Okay. Which one is number 6, the second one, followed by number? You can show it on the screen so I can see it. So 3, and then 6, and then? Oh, the thumb is not the number. So let's see. So it's 3, and then goes to 6. Okay. And then after that is the shall we go to the conference room and make a start, which is 4. Okay. And then after that, the background, which is 1. And then finally, we've looked at potential, which is, 2, and then 1, and then 5. 2, 1, and 5. That's the last one. Okay. Of course, this kind of order will not happen all the time in real life. And that's why now we are going to look at a video. So make sure you have your earphones or your speaker ready, okay? You're going to watch a video, and this video is going to be about Lynn and her colleague John, who is meeting with 2 people from a different company named Victor and Sue. Okay, What you're going to do is you're going to look at their interaction and find out which step is missing or which step is not completed. It doesn't mean that it's wrong. It just means that in real life, you don't have to go all through all the steps. It's okay to skip one or two steps. So I want you to look at the video and find out which step is skipped. Okay.
Hello, Lin Chan, Sales Manager for National Sugar, and my associate, John Martin.
Very pleased to meet you. I'm Victor Tang, and this is my legal advisor, Sue Panay.
I hope you had a pleasant flight over.
Yes, we did, thanks.
Are you staying for a few days?
Unfortunately, we need to get back to Manila tomorrow.
Well, we better get down to business. Mr. Tang, to start off with, I just want to say we believe we can offer you a very good deal and come up with a win-win result.
Well, from our point of view, we see it as an exploratory tool. Testing the water, you might say.
We don't intend to reach any agreements at this meeting. In any case, we would need to run it past our board first.
You haven't heard our terms yet. You may find them hard to resist.
Of course, we understand you need time to consider any offer. My first priority is to keep the negotiations open.
What's your proposal, Ms. Chan?
We're prepared to offer a very attractive price for a minimum sale in exchange for a 2-year contract. John will clarify the terms.
Okay, so step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which step is not is skipped? Sorry, which one is not included? Which one is skipped? Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. You can write. Okay. Okay. So remember the order is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I'll repeat again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only saw like 1, 2. Okay, a couple of you got it correctly. Okay. I would say here, some of the correct answer comes, okay, one comes from Shui Yi, that is correct answer. Kine also gave the correct answer. And Win Tidag, one answer is correct out of 2. Okay, so the step that is not included here is this one, step number 4, the agenda setting. So if you notice, they start with the greeting. Hello, my name is, this is my colleague. And then the other person says, yes, my name is Victor, and this is my colleague, okay? The second one is John. John was saying things like, how was your flight? Or how was your trip here? How was the accommodation? I think how was the accommodation? Sorry, how was your accommodation? Or something like that. So there's the process of having a small talk, okay? And then after that, Lynn said, shall we go down to business? Or let's go down to business. So there's the invitation to start, okay? And then comes the background and also the start of the negotiation. They did not set an agenda, okay? So that's why in here, number 4 is the incorrect, the missing step, sorry. Number 4 is the missing step. It doesn't mean that this negotiation is incorrect. It just means that in real life, sometimes 1 or 2 steps will be skipped, okay? Depending on the context. So these are some key phrases that you will find useful. Firstly, it will be, hello, nice to meet you. Good to see you again. How are you? Let me introduce my colleague. This is my colleague. Notice my pronunciation of colleague. Okay? Colleague is the correct pronunciation. Colleague, which means the person that you work with. How was your flight? How is your accommodation? Would you like something to drink? These are all part of the small talk. We better get down to business. Get down to business. Shall we go down to business? How about if we go down to business? These are some of the phrases to start, to invite. Okay, you're inviting the other person to start the negotiation. Setting up the agenda. As you can see from the agenda, we'll be talking about. I think we should start from and talk about on the second day. So this is all agenda setting. And then there's to start with. I just want to say, let me start off by saying, I'd like to start by saying, these are all to start with the background. Then comes with, from our point of view, our position is that, as far as we're concerned, we've looked at, okay, this is some of the phrases to kickstart the negotiation. Don't worry, I'll give you the PDF file later so you can take a look at the key phrases. So this is just to show you some of the many key phrases that can be used when you're negotiating in English. Notice that they are all chunk of words. So they go together, okay? And it looks as if. So far, do you have any question about the process? Okay. In that case, if you have any question, just put in the comment box, but if not, I will continue. So now we're gonna go to the process. So the preparation is finished. You've done your research. You know your initial bargaining position. You know your fallback position. And then the meeting start, greetings, okay, small talk, and then you kick off the negotiation. But then the negotiation itself may not be easy. So based on what Carrie Fisher said, everything is negotiable. Whether or not the negotiation is easy is another thing. Okay? So when you are negotiating, you have to pay attention to your own and your counterpart's body language. And that means the person that you're negotiating with. You need to pay attention to the body language, gesture, or even the facial expression of the person that you're negotiating with. It's for you to know whether the person is interested or not interested. Is the person angry or accepting to your offer? Okay, so you have to pay attention to each other's body language. And the second thing that that's important is active listening. Okay, now if you look at, we're gonna go back and look at that previous video one more time, but this time we're gonna focus on the second part of the negotiation when they start, okay, with the background and before they start with the negotiation. There will be some key phrases that will pop up on the right screen here. So you can focus on those key phrases and listen to how they pronounce it. Okay? So we can start now. No.
Mr. Tang, to start off with, I just want to say we believe.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Hello.
Mr. Tang, to start off with, I just want to say we believe we can offer you a very good deal and come up with a win-win result.
Well, from our point of view, we see it as an exploratory tool. Testing the water, you might say.
We don't intend to reach any agreements at this meeting. In any case, we would need to run it past our board first.
You haven't heard our terms yet. You may find them hard to resist.
Of course, we understand you need time to consider any offer. My first priority is to keep the negotiations open.
What's your proposal, Ms. Chen?
Okay. So these are all the key language or key phrases that you hear from the video. Okay. So from our point of view, to start off, this is what they will do to start with the background of the negotiation. Testing the water means that they just want to see, okay? They just want to see what the other person is proposing to them. Yeah. And they don't intend to come to an agreement. They just come to see, okay? They just come to know what the other person is offering. In any case, we need to run it past our board first. Run it past, which means they have to give the proposal to their manager or their leader first. Okay, they cannot just, they will not reach an agreement on that meeting. This is particularly from John. He said, you haven't heard our terms yet. You might find them hard to resist. You might find them interesting or hard to resist, okay? And then while the other woman, Lynn, said, my first priority is to keep the negotiation open. So there are very two different statements here. This is from John. You haven't heard our terms yet. You might find them hard to resist. And from Lynn, my first priority is to keep the negotiation open. Okay? Now, from those two phrases that I just highlighted, now I want you to watch the video one more time, and I want you to notice Victor and Sue's reaction when John speaks and when Lynn speaks. Okay?
Mr. Tang, to start off with, I just want to say we believe we can offer you a very good deal and come up with a win-win result.
Well, from our point of view, we see it as an exploratory tool. Testing the water, you might say.
We don't intend to reach any agreements at this meeting. In any case, we would need to run it past our board first.
You haven't heard our terms yet. You may find them hard to resist.
Of course, we understand you need time to consider any offer. My first priority is to keep the negotiations open.
What's your proposal, Ms. Chen?
Okay. Try to write in the comment box. I would like you to know. Comment on Victor and Sue's reaction when John speaks, or when John says, you haven't heard our terms yet. You might find them hard to resist. And when Lynn said, my first priority is to keep the negotiation open. Their reaction is they look at each other, but why is that? This is time for you to comment, analyze it, okay? So yes, you are correct. Lin Win Oo and also Putin, they look uncomfortable with the conversation. Yeah, Lin Ted, correct. So they made eye contact, but look at the eye contact. How did they look at each other? Okay. So yeah, they do look at each other when John said it's hard to resist, but there's a certain way that they look at eye language, Wayan, exactly. There's something in their eye. Does it look like they're happy or they're unhappy? Pay attention to the gesture, okay? So, okay. When they look at each other and they made eye contact, it will be, yeah. When John said, you haven't heard our terms yet, you might find them hard to resist. What they did is they looked at each other, and then Victor was, doing the eyebrow thing. That is because of the reaction, of the response that John gave. He said, you haven't heard our terms yet. When it is very clear that they have said that they don't intend to make any agreement. They just here to listen to the offer made by Lynn and John. They don't intend to make any agreement. But John didn't listen to it. he didn't listen to what they were trying to say, so they weren't happy. So many of you said unhappy, uncomfortable. They looked at each other and they were like, he's not listening to what we're just saying. We are saying that we are here only to listen to the offer, not to agree on anything. But look at when Lynn speaks. Of course, we understand. My first priority is to keep the negotiation open. And look at Victor's reaction to it when Lynn speaks. Okay. When Lynn speaks. Yeah, correct, Kind. And also Maisuken. So they look interested, right? Victor looks interested. He goes like this, and then he said, "What's your proposal?" Because Lynn was listening to Victor and Sue's reaction, to Victor and Sue's statement. Lynn says, "We understand that you come here just to listen to our proposal." And Lynn also saying, "My first priority is to keep the negotiation open." By being understanding and listening to what the other person need and objective, Victor responds positively. The body language immediately comes forward and then show interest. What do you have to offer? Proposal means offer. What's your proposal? What do you offer? So yeah, Lynn said they can get along with Lynn, but not with John. Yeah, that can mean like that means they are more positive. Their reaction is more positive toward Lynn because Lynn was listening to them. That's the key here, active listening. So they listen, okay? And the body language they give to John is their signal that they don't approve to what John said. This is not why they were there. So their body language is showing it. So when you're negotiating, you need to pay attention not only words, but also body language and facial expression. That's what you need to pay attention to. Okay, now we're going to look at a different kind of negotiation. And this time it's going to be a longer one. It's going to be from start to finish. Okay, this is Tom. So Tom is meeting with his manager, Sarah. Tom has recently returned from paternity leave. Paternity leave is when someone has just become a dad, okay, has a new baby, and then he takes a leave to take care of the baby with the wife, yeah? While he was on leave, he realized he was more productive working from home. He believes that a flex time policy will benefit the company. For you who do not know, flex time means there's flexible working time. So the company allows the employee to decide their working hours, and they can decide where to work. They can work from home or they can work from the office. Okay, nowadays everyone must stay home, but so that's part of like this is more like a flex time where there's an agreement between company and employee that the employee doesn't have to come to the office all the time. The employee can work from home for maybe 3 days or 4 days, and then the other 2 days the employee comes to the office. So that's what flex time is, flexible time. She understands Tom's requests, but is not sure that flex time will benefit the company. So there's two different intention here, yeah? So he believes that flex time policy will benefit the company, while Sarah understands, but is not sure that flex time will benefit the company. You're going to watch the negotiation process from start to finish. Let's start from the beginning, the greeting and the small talk. Pay attention to their reaction, okay? Pay attention to their interaction as well.
Hey, still have a few minutes?
Of course. Grab a chair.
I know you've been in and out of meetings all day.
It never ends.
No lunch?
Oh, well, I'm trying to get out early. My son has a class play tonight. He's going to be a fig tree.
Well, you have to start somewhere.
Right. So, how's your own little one?
Olivia, oh, she's amazing.
Aw.
Yeah, she's 4 weeks old tomorrow.
Ah, congrats.
Thanks.
Okay, so if you remember in the beginning, before you start with your negotiation, you have to do some small talk. Okay, so in here, the greeting starts, and then Tom was like asking about, like whether you have lunch or not, and the manager respond by saying, "Oh, okay. So how about your children? So how about your newborn, your baby?" So they have that kind of chit chat in the beginning. Okay, and as you can see here, it's relaxed, it's comfortable. They're smiling a lot. So this should be the starting point, the greeting and the small talk. Steal a few minutes means, can I have a little bit of your time? That's basically the meaning. Okay, steal a few minutes. Okay, so now we are gonna go to the next part. Okay, and this is where Tom will signal that let's get down to business. Okay.
That's actually what I'm here about. Paternity leave was fantastic. Working flex time for the last several weeks was just great, being able to spend time with my wife and my daughter. But now that I'm back full time, I'm realizing that I actually got more work done at home than I do here. A baby cries for 5 minutes, but a meeting goes on for 2 hours.
I see. So what you're saying is you want to work flex time on a long-term basis?
What I'm saying is I think the whole company could benefit from a flex time policy.
Uh-huh.
What do you think?
Okay, so in this part of the negotiation, Tom started to tell his manager about his his position here. What is it that he's offering, his proposal? Okay, and his proposal particularly is this one. What I'm saying is, I think the whole company can benefit from a flex time policy. So he's negotiating not only for him, he's also negotiating for a change in the company. And the way he kickstart is by saying this. That's actually why I'm here about, stating the purpose. Okay? And then there's the background. Paternity leave was fantastic, but I realized I got more work done at home than here. This is where he sets the setting. He sets the background of the negotiation. And his manager does the active listening. And in English, in negotiating in English, the way to do it is by repeating what the other person says or rephrasing. In here, the way the manager rephrased is by saying, so what you're saying is. So what you're saying is what you do when you want to reframe what the other person tells you so that you are in the same understanding level. Okay? And then Tom responds, what I'm saying is, so he's clarifying. Okay, he's clarifying. So that's how you do the active listening part, by reframing what the other person tells you. Okay, so I'll give you some useful key phrases here. When you want to show the other person that you understand an agreement on a point, I agree with you on that point. So what you're saying is that you, in other words, you feel that you have a strong point there. I think we can both agree that it shows understanding and you agree with the other person's point. Okay? I don't see a problem with that. You agree. You can also say when you don't agree or you want to reject the offer, I understand where you're coming from. However, I'm prepared to compromise, but I'm not 100% with you. I don't necessarily believe that. And is that your best offer? These are all to reject the offer or reject the point. Okay? You're gonna see a lot of his faces later. So now we're gonna go to the third step. Okay, so Tom asked, what do you think? Okay, now we will see the response from the manager. And then this is where the negotiation starts. It kicks off. Okay.
Well, that's ambitious. And I think it might be fine for a startup, but for someone as big as us, I don't see it.
That's how I thought at first, but I did a lot of research, and I found at least half a dozen companies
Tom.
our size or larger, also competitors, who have flex time policies, and they all say the same thing: employee satisfaction goes up, productivity goes up, and employee turnaround goes down.
Look, that might be great for them, but it's such a radical departure from the way we do business. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Well, have you seen the customer service stats from when I was away?
Yeah, I have.
And what did they say?
Complaints were down about 10%. Sales were up about the same amount. I get it, Tom. You were more productive at home.
It wasn't just me, though. It was my whole team. Without me here micromanaging them, everybody got to focus on their own tasks, on their own time. And lo and behold, it turns out that micromanaging wasn't the answer. Can I ask you another question?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think would benefit from a more flexible schedule?
Well, Steve and Sally both have long commutes. I'm sure they would both love to work from home a couple of days a week.
How about yourself? Well, I mean, if you were able to work from home today, you'd have been able to have a decent lunch, and you'd be able to get to your son's play without being rushed.
Well, it sounds great when you put it that way. But the executive team doesn't necessarily believe that employee morale directly affects the bottom line.
So what you see here when when Tom executes or kicks off the negotiation, his manager wasn't accepting it at first. She rejects the idea. That's ambitious. Ambitious is a good word, but in here, the tone of voice is more like a negative tone of voice, not a positive tone of voice. And then she also said, I don't see it. She rejects, right? But this is what happens when you come prepared to your negotiation. Tom said, I did a lot of research. So he didn't just come and sit and ask what he wanted. He researched first. He did a lot of research. He saw the competitors. He see how this works for his competitors. And that's how the the manager starts to like, okay, that's interesting. But the manager is not yet convinced. She said, that might be great for them, but, so still rejecting, right? That might be great for them, but, okay? And then here, Tom follow up with asking questions to make sure the negotiation continues. Because if Tom just stops there, the negotiation stops, okay? But what he did is he asked question based on facts. Have you seen the data? What did they say? And then the boss admits, complaints are down, sales are up, okay? That's positive result. And then he asked another question. Who do you think would benefit from this? And so he's asking question to get the attention from the boss so that the boss think about the benefit of his request. And that's how he continues, okay? His boss is not convinced yet. His boss said, the executive team doesn't necessarily believe that the employee's moral affects the bottom line, which means She's not convinced yet. She's not convinced that the executive team will see this as a good thing for the result of the work of the employee. The bottom line is the result that the employee gives. Okay. So the questions that Tom gave here is what called probing question. So one of the way of continuing a negotiation is called probing, asking the right question and listen. Active listening, remember, yeah? Active listening. So asking the right question and listening carefully to the answers. Here are some of the probing questions that you can ask. For example, what is the situation on production at your plant? What sort of quantities you are looking for? What are we looking at the way of the discount? What did you have in mind regarding specifications? And what were you thinking of in terms of delivery dates? How important to you is the currency of the payment, for payments, right? So these are the questions that you ask for the person that you're negotiating to get a response from them and continue with the negotiation. Let's do a quick practice. I want you to match the answer with the question. You can write them in the comment box, okay? You match the question with the answer. Let's start with number 1. Perhaps 100 units per year over 5 years. Match it with the question. You can start with number 1 first. $100 units, okay? Okay, B. Okay, let's see. I'm still waiting for some of the responses. Very good, yeah. B is what the answer is. What sort of quantities are you looking for? The answer will be perhaps 100 units per year over 5 years. Units, yeah? How about number 2? What will be the match here? Okay. Very good. It's C. The discount, right? You can offer 10%. How about number 3? Number 3 now. Okay, which one is number 3? Very good. I see Aung San Yut was the first one. Number 3 is A. What is the situation production at your plant at the moment? Okay, so you can also see it here. I'll include that in the PDF. So these are some of the answers. 1 is B, 2, C, 3, D, and we prefer US dollar. Now US dollar is the currency. So what kind of currency do you have in mind? Or how important to you is the currency for payment? Okay. Now we're gonna go to the last part of the process. This is where the negotiation will lead to the end. Okay. Pay attention to their interaction in here.
You know Sheila from my department.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she had to, you know Sheila from my department.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry.
Well, she had to, well, look at it this way. You know Sheila from my department.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she had to take 2 days off last week because her kid was home from school and she didn't have a sitter. Now that's 2 days of lost work because she wasn't set up to work from home. And the thing is if we had known about this ahead of time, it wouldn't have been hard to do.
So you're saying we just need to have a system in place where if anybody had to work from home, they could.
Or from anywhere.
So it doesn't matter where they are when they get their work done, as long as it gets done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Results are results.
Mhm.
That's all that matters.
I do see where you're coming from. But pitching this to the executive team,
Well, just brainstorming here. It doesn't have to be one big sweeping change all at once. We could try one team, not even my own team, maybe engineering, and try it out for a few months.
mhm. I'm not 100% with you yet.
Okay, well, I just sprang this on you.
Yeah, I understand.
What do you think you would need for me to get to that 100% commitment? Not 99%, but 100%.
Let's see. You've got a good start with those customer service stats. If you could make a compelling case that benefits the bottom line and demonstrate how you plan to maintain those numbers over the long haul, that'd help.
I'm on it. I'll design a set of objectives that we can track and measure results.
Okay.
What else?
Well, that research you were talking about, I'll need to see that. And give me some examples about how your own team can remotely do their jobs, and engineering or anybody, even the receptionists. Basically, just give me the data. And if it's rock solid, I'll sign on.
100%.
Yes, if your data is rock solid.
All right. I think I can make this happen.
Okay.
And I'll go one up on you.
Okay.
What if I were to design a pilot plan to go along with these measurement targets you're going to present?
That's what I'm looking for.
And if I were to get this to you before next Friday, would you be willing to present this at the next executive team meeting?
Well, if the data's good and our proposal is tight, I would.
Excellent. I'm thrilled about this, Sarah. Thank you so much.
Now you realize you still have a long way to go.
Yeah, but I'm a lot closer than I was 5 minutes ago.
Okay. All right, I'll be talking to you.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Whoops, sorry. So, as you can see from this interaction, this final interaction, you can see that Tom's confidence is starting to build up because he's confident with his presentation. He's confident with his proposal. Okay, and he was able to offer a lot of good things based on the research that he has done, and he's confident about his plan. He knows his proposal, so he's able to be persuasive. So as you can see here, the boss is still sort of not 100% with him yet. He says like, I don't see where you're coming from, but I'm not 100% with you yet. But in the end, she started to give Tom some kind of proposals. Okay, so because Tom here says, what do you think you'll need from me? So that's the question that Tom asked to his boss. If you want to support me, what do you need from me? And then the boss starts to tell to Tom, this is what I need from you, A, B, C, D, E. And Tom says, okay, I'm on it. I'm able to do it. I know I can do it. And the thing that I would like to highlight here is this specific phrase, if it is, I will, which means a promise. If it is, I will. So that's the promise. And what if I were to design, and if I were to, those are hypothetical conditions. So in the present time, Tom do not have the plot, the pilot plan. He doesn't have it yet. But hypothetically, if he has it, what would the boss do? So he's talking based on hypothetical situation. So that's what we call a proposal and a counter proposal. Okay, an offer and a counter offer. The condition, if I give you this, what can you give me? If I do this, what will you do for me? So that's proposal and counter proposal. These are some of the useful language that you can use for proposal and counter proposal. Okay? So based on what you see with the interaction between Tom and his manager, can you write in the comment box what you learned from their interaction? What you learned from Tom, okay, especially about the way he negotiates and the way he presents his proposal, the body language that he uses, the facial expression, the way he approaches boss. Can you please write in the comment box about it? I would like to know what you think about Tom's interaction with her manager. Okay, good. You need to be prepared. Yes, exactly. So Tom came prepared. Yeah, so he came prepared with the research and what he will do. Okay, be patient, correct, Tazin Kang. So be patient. Don't give up, but don't be aggressive as well. Tom was calm. He was calm. He was persuasive. So just be patient and allow the negotiation to continue. But remember, ask the right questions as well. Anything else that you learned? Okay. Yeah, gradually. That's very good keyword there. Okay, body language. Yes, so his body language is very relaxed. He smiles a lot. And one very important thing is the eye contact. Okay, never once did he look the other way. He continues to keep eye contact. So when you want to negotiate with someone in business, you have to be confident. You have to show that you are ready. And you also need to keep your eye contact with the person that you're talking to. Okay, he never once let go of his eye contact. And he's confident and he's careful, yeah, and he's respectful as well. So this is what you can take away from this lesson here. Okay, so even so he was prepared. He came prepared to the meeting. Yeah, and he was patient. Yeah, and he gives promises. That's very good as well, Mia Lemon. So he gives promises. He promised that he said he will keep. Yeah. So he gives promises. So be prepared. Begin with introduction and small talks. Make an opening statement. Okay. Give opening proposal. Pay attention to the signal. See whether your counterpart is listening to you or not. Okay. Is he agreeing with you or not? Be patient in that way. Okay. Respond towards the signal. Listen and acknowledge. Listen and acknowledge it for sure. And be persuasive. Okay. Be patient, offer, and give give proposal and also give counter proposal. Okay. So I'm nearing the end, so I will have to skip some parts, but I will show you one of my last two slides. So firstly is the negotiation for reaching an agreement. So we cannot negotiate with people who say what's mine is mine, what's yours is negotiable. That means there has to be a compromise level here, okay? A level in which I'm happy and you're happy. That I may have to compromise, but we both get what we wanted, okay? So the same way with what happened with John and also with, with Tom and his boss. So the key takeaway that you can get from the agreement, okay, is this one, okay? Let me just go one. Okay, here we go. So in a successful negotiation, everyone should leave the negotiating table happy with the outcome. As you can see with the interaction between Tom and his boss, they both were happy. The boss may start off with unsure, okay? It looks like the boss will disagree, but at the end, they both left with a happy feeling. The boss gets some kind of reassurance that Tom will provide the data that she needs, and Tom feels very happy because he's given a chance to prove himself. So there shouldn't be winners and losers. The negotiator should try to reach a win-win solution, an agreement of equal benefit for both sides. Okay, so I'm happy, you're happy. That's the aim of a negotiation. So a negotiation should not be about I win and you lose, or this is mine and what's yours is negotiable. It's about I get something that I want and you get something that you want, and we are both happy. Okay. Having said that, I will now move on to going back to this question. And I want you to just write down in the comment box what's your answer is for this three, because I need to wrap up very soon. So this is the takeaway of today's session. What is negotiation? What qualities make a good negotiator? And is every negotiation a win or a lose one? You can write it down in the comment box about your response to this. What do you understand about negotiation? Okay, good. A good negotiator is patient, good manner. Okay, very good, Sridhar. Okay, a soft way that can bring to achieve benefit. Yeah. Polite and a peace way. Good, Itanarken. Yeah. Okay. How about the qualities that make good negotiator? Okay. A discussion that reach out to a consensus. That's also very good at that. Yeah. A dialogue, not an argument. Okay, very good. So how about the qualities that makes a good negotiator? I see Kintan Zinsu. Preparation, research, active listening, good. Confidence, good. Patient, pay attention, good. Okay. Okay. Yeah, good. 800 is also showing a good thing. Like if you want to be a good negotiator, you need to learn how to do small talk, at least make the situation a little bit more relaxing for everyone who is involved. Okay. And is every negotiation a win-lose one? I would like to see that as well. Is every negotiation a win-lose one? Win-lose. Is it always a win-lose? Win-win. Very good. Yes, a negotiation should be win-win. Okay. Okay. There should not be win-lose. It should not be win-lose. It should be win-win. Both parties leave happy. Okay. Very good. Okay. So in that case, I am finished for today's session. It took me a bit later, 10 minutes later. I hope it's fine. And this is some of the resources that I use in today's lesson. In the PDF, you will be able to see it as well. You can have access. This is open source YouTube videos mainly. So you can take a look at those videos if you want to improve your English listening skill and look more into the details of how to negotiate in English. And there's actually an additional video that I cannot show you, 2 additional videos that I cannot show you, but you can take a look at it in here, okay, in the source that I leave you. So thank you very much. If there's anything that you would like to ask, I think we can still get some questions from you if you want. And but from me, and I'm very happy to have met you today. I hope what I bring to the presentation today is helpful for you. You get some practice in listening and also in writing. Without you knowing it, you're actually writing in English. That's excellent. Because sometimes you don't like writing. You say, oh, writing is so difficult. But guys, today you have been writing a lot without you knowing it. So congratulations, you have done a writing practice. Okay, so thank you very much and thank you for joining with this lesson. I will pass it on to Batu now if there's anything that he would like to add or any questions that needs to be addressed. Thank you.
Teacher Dian, can you stop sharing the screen? So
Yeah,
that-
1 minute. Yeah.
Okay, အဲ့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်မိကုန်းနေမေးချင်တဲ့လူရှိသေးလားကျွန်တော်တို့negotiation ကဒီနှစ်မျိုးပေါ့နော်ကျွန်တော်တို့ theory ဘိုင်းရဲ့ language ဘိုင်းရဲ့သွားတာပေါ့ဒီခါကျတော့ theory ဘိုင်းနဲ့ negotiation theory ဘိုင်းနဲ့သိချင်တဲ့အခါရှိလို့ရှိရင်လည်းမေးလို့ရတယ်ဒါမှမဟုတ် language ဘိုင်းနဲ့သိချင်တယ်မေးလို့ရတယ်ပေါ့နော်ဟုတ်ပုံမှန်တော့ကျွန်တော်က negotiation ဆိုတာညှိနှိုင်းနေဆိုတာမသိကြအောင်လားစောင့်နေရပါပေါ့နော်အမှန်တကယ်နေတိုင်းမကင်းမိုးလင်းလာတွေကအင်အားမီနဲ့ညှိနှိုင်းရတာပဲပေါ့နော်ဒါပေမဲ့ကွန်ပျူတာစုချင်းချင်းဆိုတဲ့အခါကျတော့တောင်ညှိနှိုင်းတာတော့မသိတာဘူးဘာဖြစ်ကိုရေးစားရရဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ရေးစားနေလည်းညှိနှိုင်းရတာပဲပေါ့နော်ဒဇိမ့်နဲ့ဆိုပို့တည်တာတယ်။ဟိုမှာဈေးပါသွားတဲ့ခါကျရင်လည်းကျွန်တော်ကဈေးမညစ်ချင်ဘူးဈေးမလျှော့ချင်ယောက်ျားလေးဆိုပို့ကောက်ပို့ဆိုးတာပေါ့နော်အမှန်တကယ်တော့မဟုတ်ဘူးတန်ရာဈေးကိုပေးဝယ်တာတည်တာဘာဖြစ်ဖြစ်negotiation ကောင်းလို့ပြောမှာပေါ့နော်။ခါကျတော့သူ1000တန်တဲ့ဈေးကို1000ပဲပေးဝယ်တယ်ပို့လည်းပေးမဝယ်ဘူးလျှော့လည်းပေးမဝယ်ဘူး win-win situation ကိုပြောရမယ်ဆိုတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့လုပ်တာပေါ့ဟုတ်အခါကျတော့ဒီနေ့ negotiation section မှာ negotiation နဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတော့ language နဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတော့ဒီချက်တရားကိုမေးချင်တာတွေရှိလားမသိဘူးခင်ဗျဟုတ်မေးချင်တာရှိရင်လက်ထောင်လိုက်ပါဗမာလိုမေးလို့လည်းရတယ်chat box ရမေးလို့လည်းရတယ်ကျွန်တော်ပြန်မေးဆိုလည်းမေးလို့မယ်ကြည့်ရဒီနေ့ထိကျန်တဲ့လူတွေကနောက်ဆုံးဟို46ရောက်စုပြီးရတယ်မှာပါမယ်လူများနေတယ်ထင်တယ် okay ဟုတ်မေးချင်တဲ့လူများရှိသေးလားမသိဘူးမြတ် No one okay okay JDN ကျွန်တော်တို့ high sun မှာလည်းသူကအင်္ဂလိပ်စာတော့သင်တယ်ပေါ့နော်အဲ့ခါကျတော့ private ကို language တွေနဲ့သင်ကြားမှုနဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတော့သိချင်တာရှိလို့ရှိရင်လည်းသူမေးလို့ရတယ်နော်ဟုတ် Okay no one okay အဲ့ဆိုလည်းကောင်းပါပြီကျွန်တော်တို့ညနေမှာlearning how to learn နဲ့ဘယ်သူရှိလဲဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ညနေကြလို့ရှိရင်ဆရာဆိုင်ဒေါက်တာဆိုင်ဖုံးမြတ်တယ်ပေါ့နော်ဆရာဒေါက်တာဆိုင်ဖုံးမြတ်တယ်နဲ့တွေ့ပြီးတော့ကျွန်တော်ပြောမှာဖြစ်တယ်ခါကြလို့ညနေ section မှာပဲကျွန်တော်ပြန်တွေ့ကြတာပေါ့နော်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ဟုတ်ကဲ့အဲ့ဆို easy နားလိုက်ပါ bye bye ကျွန်တော်ည9:00မှာပြန်တွေ့ရမယ်နော် okay bye